Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen. I make book and school related videos, and today I will be sharing with you all of the books that I want to read this school year. Now bear with me, I'm filming with my iPhone because I noticed that the microphone on the camera has been just very wonky and very it hasn't been working. So we're going to be using my iPhone for the remainder of my YouTube career until I get a new one. So this school year I am participating in a school club called HOSA. Now HOSA is a pre-med club. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so if you're part of TSA, there's a pre-med version of that. If you're part of Beta Club, there's a pre-med version of that. I don't know how to explain it. There's competitions and stuff that you go to, and I participated in medical reading last year and I made 4th place in the state, and I want to do that again this year. So they just released the books that are for this year's competition, and there are 5 books that I have to read, and then I have to take a multiple choice test and then write an essay. So but I did this last year, so I think I know what to do this time around, so I'm good. Alright, so I'm not going to go into detail about each of the HOSA books, but I'll just name and list those books. I got my notes right here. So we have Into the Magic Shop by Dr. James Doughty. Idiot Brain by Dean Burnett. I am really excited to read this one because it talks about okay, so you know when you walk into a room and you thought you knew what you're going into the room for, but then you forgot? Yeah, the book goes into detail about that. Then we have The Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker, The Bubonic Plague by Gail Jarrow, and Losing Face by Kathy Torpy. I'm excited to get started on these books because I love nonfiction. I have all of the books that I read last year over there in that area right there. Wonder is that top book right there, and it's turning into a movie coming out this year. I'm super excited, but anyway, I'm not reading those books this year. The next 5 books I don't own because they aren't out yet, and the authors are going to be at YALLFest. So of course I wanted to read these books before YALLFest. Alright, so the first book we have is Otherworld by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. And if you think that I want to read this book just because it has Jason Segel's name on the front cover, you're absolutely correct. But also I just want to read it because I read the synopsis on Goodreads and it literally just says this: Simon thought Otherworld was a game. Turns out he knew nothing. Otherworld is the next phase of reality. It's everything you've ever wanted, and it's about to change humanity forever. Welcome to Otherworld. No one could have seen it coming. I don't know what that means. It sounds very futuristic and very high-tech, and I have another book that's kind of like that, so I'm kind of going on a theme here this year. Alright, so the next book that I want to read is The Girl with the Red Balloon by Catherine Locke. So this book comes out September 1st, and I'm super excited because all I know about this book is that it has 16-year-old Ellie, and she accidentally time travels via red balloon. And she time travels to 1988 East Berlin. So this sounds like a historical, magical, fantasy YA book, and I'm here for it. Alright, so the next book that I want to read, well, I've actually been wanting to read this book for quite a while since this came out, and that is Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groden. I suck at names. I'm that substitute teacher that goes, sorry if I mispronounce your name. When I pulled it up on Google, everyone was talking about how this book is about an alternative ending to World War II. And it talks about how life would be like if Hitler won World War II. The next book is Dear Martin by Nick Stone. This book comes out October 17th of this year, and I very much am on a theme streak with books this year. So I'm just gonna read you my notes that I wrote. Well, I'm not gonna be looking at the camera, but I'm gonna read my notes that I wrote down for here. So we have high school age boy named Justice, and he is a well-behaved kid at the top of his class, but one day he gets arrested and released without any charges. This kind of spooks him out, so he starts writing a journal dedicated to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and so good so far. But as he's writing this journal, he starts to question whether or not the teachings and the words of Dr. King really relate to this world, or really if anyone has learned anything from him. And so after that part of the synopsis, the book has to deal with a white police officer and a shooting and Justice and his friend. This book really does remind me of The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. So far I'm kind of getting those vibes, and so far this year and late last year, I love reading articles and books about the Black Lives Matter movement, and I believe this book follows in that in those footsteps, so I'm excited to read this book and get my hands on it and meet the author. I know I'm going to love this book, a young adult book about racial issues and Dr. MLK, and I'm super excited to just, I'm so excited, guys. The last YALLFest book on this list is Lovin Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. So, of course, Lovin Gelato takes place in Italy, and we have our main character Lena, and she travels to Italy for the summer to go visit her father at her mother's request. And this is kind of weird for Lena because her father hasn't been in her life for the last 16 years, I believe. And Lena is given this journal that used to belong to her mother. And Lena uncovers this world of secret romance and food and art and all things Italy, and it uncovers secrets about her mother and her father. And this sounds like a very mysterious YA contemporary summary book, but I know I'm not going to read this in the summer, so. The next book on my list I have talked about in a previous video, but that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And oh my gosh, I have this book in like an actual cover, like an actual physical book. This book is another World War II novel, but this takes place in France, as you can see, Paris, France. And I just know it has to deal with the relationship of these sisters that is being tested because one of the sisters is being sent to fight in the war. Alright, so the next book on this list is the thousandth Floor by Katherine McGee. And so basically this book alternates between different perspectives of 4 different people, and this takes place in 2118 Manhattan, New York. The only other futuristic book that I've read that took that far into the future was Illuminae, so I'm kind of excited to see like this type of world that this author has created. And so basically on the 1000th floor we have a girl. She is genetically designed to be perfect, but apparently she's missing something that she can't have, she can never have. And okay, let's make a prediction. I believe that one thing that she cannot have is love or like a human connection. What else could a genetically modified human cannot ever have but is designed to be perfect? I'm assuming it's like love, because all like YA books kind of take that route, and I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting book, but I've been eyeing this book for so long, so I'm super excited. And the second book is about to come out, or has come out. I'm not sure yet. Ooh, I have the next book. The next book on my list is Deadwake by Erik Larson. So this book talks about the last crossing of this great ship, the Lusitania, and it takes place like during World War II. I've read this book before, but I want to reread it again because I remember being so in love with it, but I don't remember much of the facts that took place in this book. This book stands out from all the other nonfiction books that I have read so far in my life because although this is nonfiction, this is written like a story. So what I mean by that is the narrative nonfiction, and I don't feel like I'm reading a textbook. I feel like I'm just reading a story, but I learned so much by reading the story because it's nonfiction. And Erik Larson is one of my favorite nonfiction authors, and I have all of his books except one of them, and I think that's like Isaac Storm or something like that. I haven't had coffee today, but I'm so like hyped up. I'm not going to be needing my laptop for this last one. The last set of books on this list is the Harry Potter series. So I have started my high school career with this book series, and I kind of want to end my high school career with this book series. And you know what? I just think that's perfect. I think that I love it when like things come in full circle. Super excited for just sitting down and reading this. I think I'm gonna do that after March because YALLFest would be done and my HOSA competition would be done. I really hope I don't need to give you a summary of the book series. But that is all for this video, and that is all I want to read so far this school year. I know there are going to be other books I'm going to be picking up as well. I'm super excited. The books I mentioned in the beginning, my HOSA books, I won't start reading that till after YALLFest, but from now until YALLFest, I'm going to be reading y'all best books. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. That'll make me very happy. I have new videos coming soon. I have all my videos planned out for the next month because I don't know how busy I'm going to be this school year so far. So I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all have a great rest of the weekend. Bye everybody.